What up, though? Who be here? Who's here? Can't sit here. Seats taken. Can't sit here. Seats taken. Forrest. You can't sit here, Forrest. Can't sit here. Seats taken, Forrest. Hey, Forrest, the seat's taken, buddy. Back in 1984, when I was indicted, they threw the book at me and my family. They said if I didn't talk, I was looking at 25 to life. That's when I told the lawyer everything I knew. And because of that, they put away my boss. And word got out to the guys that I was a snitch. So me and my family were part of the witness protection program, and they moved us to Alaska. I mean, Wyoming. I mean, Maine. And we all got new names. I sure hope Big Polly and Fat Sal die soon in prison so I can live my life without fear everywhere I go. Did I do it? Yes. I'm a made man. I made my bones in 1982. I was in Newark with my capo, and he told me pull the trigger, and I did. And that's the first time I felt that feeling. Anyway, we wrapped the guy up in cement shoes and threw him in the New York car in the river. After that, I became a killing machine. I went from enforcer to capo in 3 months. I had my own crew, and now we're talking 1986. New Jersey, Newark. You had the five families in New York City. Things were things were hot. I was running the gambling and the drug game. I made sure the heroin was getting imported from the Chinese. I had to be on the docks every day at a certain time because I knew which barge carried all the weight. If that didn't come, Polly would have had my head, even though I don't control ship trading across the oceans. But once that boat landed, we had to pay off the captain and crew. I went right to the uh, whatever the fuck those things were called, the little things they make houses out of now that was shipping some kind of Chinese pears. And underneath the pear crates was 25 kilos of China white heroin. Now, this is real deal heroin. This is the 70s. This ain't that garbage fentanyl you got nowadays. Once word got around New York City that we had that pure China white, the competition was next to nothing. We labeled our stamp packs and called them Johnny Apples. So if you got a pack on the streets and it was stamped Johnny Apples, you know you had the purest heroin in all of New York City and New Jersey. We didn't even have to cut it. That's how much we were getting. All the other dealers in the area hated us because all the dope heads wanted that Johnny Appleseed. It was pure China white. I'm talking 97.4% pure heroin. Clean. Clean as bleach. This shit wasn't touched, cut, stepped on, messed with. You could have done it for years and it wouldn't have harmed your body one bit. That's how pure it was. Modern Western medicine is more dangerous for you than that pure horse we was pushing back in the 70s. Anyhow, when they came out with the RICO, a couple guys got indicted and we had to drop the Johnny Appleseed because if they did a raid and they found a couple ounces, even a bird kilo at a spot and they had the Johnny Appleseed stamp, well, with the RICO, they could charge it to our crew without any evidence just because of that stamp. So the stamps went away in the 80s for the most part, unless you were stupid or brave. But we got rid of the stamp and we came up with a new method. We was the first ones to sell the fingers. It was a bag, like a white plastic bag, the length and width of a finger. And that's where we were putting the dope. So when people came up and said, we want 6 fingers, they knew they were getting the best shit in New York. Everyone else was still behind. They were still using stamp packs. They were putting them in penny caps, like clear capsules. And we had the fingers. Those fingers made us billions, but everyone gets a cut. So, we had to give a cut to the mayor of New York. We had to give a cut to the state police chief, all the police working the boroughs, Brooklyn, Bronx, Long Island, Queens. We had them all on the payroll. Hell, half of them were selling the dope for us. Times were good in the late 70s, early 80s in the New Jersey, New York area. Then the boss sent me out to Vegas to take care of a few whales that didn't want to pay their tab. They had a big old tab and about 10 points each per tab. So me and my cousin Vinny Bags, we hopped on a flight to Vegas, and that's when I became the biggest cokehead this country's ever seen. The cocaine in Vegas was so pure. I don't know what I was snorting in New York, and it was everywhere. Every casino you went, every executive's office you went to, every girl on the strip. You want to bump? You want to bump? This shit was clean. It looked like diamonds on the queen's wedding ring. I know the kids now call fish scale, but this shit wasn't fish scale. This shit was fucking platinum shining like your shoebox after your grandson cleans your best pair of loafers before going to church. Well, anyhow, I got there to do the job, and instead of doing what I had to do, my nose started doing all the work. I was sniffing kilo after kilo after kilo, using all the boss's money, not a worry in my head because I had hooas, drugs, gambling. I was getting blowjobs 4, 5, 6 times a day from the hottest women in Vegas. How'd you have to pay them? You just gave them a couple lines of cocaine, and those fiend out women were happy as apple pie. Things were starting to get tight back home, and I started hearing rumors that the boss was thinking about whacking me. He thought I was switching sides, working with the feds. He didn't know what was going on because I was sending his money back plus points, and he didn't think it was possible to do such at the rate I was doing. But he didn't know that I robbed every coke dealer in Vegas and took over all their businesses, and I kept it to myself and my buddy that went out there. So if I ever was to tell the boss this or he found out, I would have been dead instantly. You don't keep money from the boss, but I was doing just that because I needed to support my coke habit. And I felt like the king of Vegas. Everywhere I went, they knew where I was. I got VIP, all the casino. I got put in the biggest games with the biggest whales. I'm talking whales like at that time there were a few cousins from the Rockefeller family. They were big shots in Vegas, and they would be put in private rooms playing $1 million a hand. I was in there not only providing the cocaine, but shoot, I had enough money to gamble with those guys. Win or lose, we were doing cocaine, getting breakfast in the morning, picking up a hooker, getting it in, getting it out, sending her on her way, and repeating it the next day. Life was good. Let me tell you, the 70s and 80s in the New York mob was the best times of my life. But if I could ever do it again, I would. Even though I lost a lot of friends, family, spent a lot of money on cocaine, got a deviated septum from doing too much cocaine. The 80s was where it was at. Just as Vinny, Paulie, Sal, oh, we just tore up those casinos. Now you wonder if I ever got locked up. I sure did. I got hitched in Vegas one night. Someone lost a lot of money and didn't want to pay, so they squealed on me. And the local police picked me up. Next thing I know, the FBI was there. I knew who the agents were, but they had to take me in, and I was facing life. So I snitched on the whole operation, and that's what brings me to where I'm at today, hiding out somewhere in the U.S. Like I said, Alaska, Wyoming, Maine. No one knows. I got 25 kids. Do I gamble still? Of course. Do I cheat on my wife? Absolutely. I fucked her sister yesterday. What about the blow? You thinking? Do you think I'd stop doing that? Come on. Look at this right here. Open up that suitcase. It's going to look like the North Pole and Santa Claus having a good old time. Don't let them lie to you. They tell you cocaine's bad because they can't tax it. But let me tell you, it's the greatest thing ever brought to this country. And I'll stand by that to the day I die. That's all I got for you all today. I hope you have a blessed evening and a good day. This is Tony 2 times, and I'm out. That was a good story. Only a couple of people here to listen to it, but at least it'll go down in history. Whew. What up, Sack? What's up, Aaron? Were you here, just in here to hear my made up story? I made it up as I went from my head, like a 15-minute story I totally made up as I went. I thought I did pretty good. I would be good. What are those actors that gotta act without having lines and things? They like act spontaneously act, but there's a name for it. I would be a good one of those. Oh, I lost everybody. Well, all good things come to an end. What's the fuck? What's up, Superwoman? Did you listen to my story? That was not rehearsed. It was on the spot, spontaneous tales of a rat that lived his life snorting blow, banging hoes, and lining up more coke for the nose. Yeah, I told from like 2 minutes to 16 minutes. I literally, off my dome, unrehearsed, not written, told one of the greatest tales of all time. If you want to go back and watch it sometime this evening, it's a good little story about the mafia in the 70s and 80s, Vegas, cocaine, hookers, witness protection program, rats. It was a good one. I don't think I'll ever be able to match that story, but I could try. Yeah, we're doing great, Aaron. Thank you. I actually stopped by Mom and Poppy's today and had some lunch. I got my plants growing in Mom's backyard because my neighbors are all young teenagers. I don't trust them. So I had to come check on my plants. They're getting real close to me pulling them out. The buds need about another week to fatten up, but they're looking nice. They're all purple and orange. They smell up the whole block, but it's legal, so I don't care. Oh, Superwoman, if you're from New York, you're gonna love my story. It's definitely not me taking shots or stereotyping the mafia. I love mafia stuff, so it was a well put together little tale. Detroit has a mafia history. They had one of the longest running dons of all time in Jack Tocco. He passed away in 2012. They say the family's defunct, but that's not true. Jackie Jr. runs it now. He was the son of the notorious brothers, Tony Jack and Vinny Jack, the Giacalone brothers. They're the ones said to have killed Hoffa. In The Irishman, they disrespect fucking Tony big time. They make some fool play his part, and they don't even really use him much. They're trying to go a different direction when he was the main player in the whole thing. He's the one that set up the breakfast that Hoffa was going to in the morning. Hoffa was planning on meeting Tony Jack, and instead he met his brother Vinny Jack, and he was never seen after that. Some say he's buried under the Rensen. Others say they took him instantly to Eastern Market and chopped him up in the slaughterhouses, turned them into pig feed. The New York crews try to say that they came to Detroit and took Hoffa and put him in the trunk of a car and drove all the way back to New York and got rid of him in the Hudson. But there's no way that's possible because the Detroit crew was in charge of Hoffa. And there was no way anyone could touch Hoffa unless Jack Tocco signed off on. Hoffa was dead long before the New York guys got here. I think he's under the Ren Center. Just happens that they were laying cement for the bottom of the Renaissance Center the day he went missing. What a perfect place to throw his chopped up body at the bottom of a soon to be 700-foot skyscraper. Plus, anytime Tony went into the Ren Center, he would always tell the person working the desk to say hello to Jimmy for him. It was a long running inside joke the Detroit Mafia had. Say hello to Jimmy. Yeah, but where? They argue is it in New York, New Jersey, or Detroit? I definitely think he was buried in concrete, but first I think he was put through the machine that turns big pieces of meat into little shreds for pig feed. And once he was put through that in the Eastern Market meat warehouse, he was then bagged up and dumped into the some freshly laid cement where the Renaissance Center was being built. That's the number one theory. Scott Bernstein, who is a mafia historian and a Jimmy Hoffa expert. He believes that he's under the Ren Center. It makes the most sense. After their little meeting in like Bloomfield at that restaurant, he got in the car with Vinny Jack and another guy. And there's witnesses who say it looked like he was struggling in the back seat and he was never seen again. I think he was choked in the back seat of the car he got into, either by Vinny Jack or the other man that was with them, which would probably been one of Vinny's guys since Vinny was a capo. But yeah, the New York guys wanted to take the job and they wanted all the glory. But the only thing New York has with it is the boss of the Gotti's crew before Paul Castellano. He signed off on it with Jack Tocco. That's about all New York has to do with it. Once Paul Castellano said he had to go, Tocco green lighted it, and that was that. He was never seen again. You got these channels like Michael Francis and Sammy the Bull. They're telling stories where they think Hoffa is. They're just lying. They're just trying to get views and sell books. These guys are both rats telling stories from back in the day. How could they even look at themselves in the mirror for all the snitching and ratting they did to their family, their crew? Once you're a made man, you're supposed to honor everyone in your crew, all the fellow made men. How could you ever snitch on them? They did that because they were cowards and they were scared of prison. Pussies. The wood chipper makes sense. Who we got watching still? Yeah, Sammy was. Now Sammy be making millions through YouTube and appearances. His YouTube channel, I think, has a couple million subscribers. Now he just tells stories. That's how you know that the old school mafia no longer exists. Nowadays, if there's any kind of mob, it's new age, younger people who aren't half as ferocious and crazy as the old school. Plus, with gambling becoming legal in most states, that was one of the biggest rackets for the mob was sports betting and illegal gambling. And now with drugs, the cartel controls the drugs with the CIA and the 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 blacks in the neighborhood took over on their own. They used to work for the mob, but that was in the 70s. And then in the 80s, they said, why would we work for these guys when we could do it on our own? And that's when they got their own plugs. And that was when we seen people like the Chamber Brothers and YBI. Um, who else? Maserati Rick. Who was else with the Chamber Brothers? There was another crew just like the Chamber Brothers, but they were the I don't know, but a lot of the original black gangsters came from the Detroit area, especially in the 70s. Frank Nitti, the real Frank Nitti, was a black man from Detroit that the Italian mob in Detroit actually trusted and made him a part of the crew. And he had a lot of connections to other powerful black people around the city. Earl Flynn was one of them. He was one of the biggest heroin distributors in the world in Detroit in the 70s and late 60s. Some of the other names are slipping my tongue right now. But once the black crew stepped in, the Italian mafia had nothing they could do. There was too much competition. So they stepped out of the drug game and stuck to their other rackets, like skimming from the casinos in Vegas, running sports books, loan sharking, things like that. What up, DDP? Yeah, yeah, with Will Ferrell playing Dahmer. Yeah, they took that one down real quick. I even sped up the voices, and changed the ratio of the original broadcasting, but they copyrighted that one within minutes. I think it's got computers recognizing it now because when I screen recorded another video, I'm trying to think which one. Within minutes, it was already a copyright warning, and all I did was record like 2 minutes out of like a 20-minute clip, and it wasn't even from like a channel that had the rights to it. It was just a random YouTuber that had this video posted 15 years ago. So I screen recorded like 3 minutes from it, the real funny part. I uploaded it, and within minutes, I had a copyright warning. So I think the computers are recognizing that now. I don't think it's man made anymore. Yeah, they definitely have to be encoded, bro, because like I said, the two that I posted, usually it would take like a couple days before they get flagged. These ones were flagged within minutes. I couldn't believe it. But neither of the things I wrote, well, the Saturday Night Live clip, I didn't take it off a Saturday Night Live website. I just took it off a random person, but I didn't have the license to that. I just thought that clip was hilarious and wanted people to see it. And then the other one was, I think, the Detroit Lions game where the Silver Dome got so loud the refs told the fans they had to be quiet. First time ever in a national football game that the crowd had to be quiet. I think that was another one that got clipped. Did you see my video I put of Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and Joey Diaz. That one didn't get copyrighted, and somehow they pushed that video because I got over 11,000 views in like 3 hours. I couldn't believe it. I went to see how it was doing, and there was like 7,000 views, 80 likes, and like 40 comments, and it was only posted hours ago. And now, after 2 days, it's almost at 12,000 views. That's my biggest video by far. It sucks though. Out of 12,000 views, my subs only went up by three. Can you imagine if those 12,000 people that viewed it subbed me also? That would have been nice. I'm trying to get monetized, but I'm trying to do it being original. I I threw up a little bit of the Chosen One community stuff today by touring Mama Kelly's old house and going by Nitty's old place. But and I rode around Maddie and Gerald's hood. But other than that, I'm not going to be labeling my videos with all the drama and stuff. I'm posting like 20 videos a day. I'm just spitting them out there. Eventually, a couple, I don't know how they choose which ones are getting pushed. Like, I put one of my Mustang and it got pushed to like 1,000 views in an hour. Then I put another one of my other Mustang and it's at like 7 views. Then I put one of my four wheelers and it got pushed to 1,500 views in a few hours. And the better video of my four wheeler is at like 6 views. I can't figure out the Ella L. I can't say the word. I can't say the word. Ella. Oh, algorithm. Algorithm. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, once I get that figured out, I did go from 480 subs to 570 in a couple weeks, less than a month. Algorithm. There we go. Algorithm. I couldn't say that word for a minute. I was tongue tied. Who else is here? I'm gonna put the code up if you want to come on screen. Oops. If you want to come on, come on. Hey everybody. Hey, what's up? Time has come to pump it up. Taylor Mustangs are good this year. Did any of you all peep my high school football videos? How fucking beastly I was? Uh, I was a beast. I was a beast of the East. I'm not on crack, y'all. I took Adderall earlier and it's fucking got me feeling like I'm on meth. My freaking teeth are all fucking quenched together. I regret that. That's the last time I'm taking Adderall. I can't stand feeling like this. Like, I don't know how I'm sitting still. Like, it's telling me to just jump through my roof. Like, roar, roar, roar. It's been a few hours, so hopefully it starts winding down. Thank God I got Klonopin for when it starts fucking going down. Going down. Two people. Who's here? We're Survivor Girl. I tried going on her live again earlier, and like always, she started freaking out on me again. That's why I don't. hang out on people's lives. What happened to everyone's favorite Bobbles? Seen she was live last night. I clicked on it and she had like 24 viewers and she didn't have her co-host. What happened to JC Bear and that other girl, Maddie or Addie or something? See, I don't know what's going on in this world. T-Boy moved to Georgia, I just heard. What the fuck? We got um Sharon V lost her channel. Maddie and Gerald lost their channel. Fill me in, people. What's going on? What's some of the inside stuff, inside talk about? I don't know anything. I just edit videos, post them, and hope they take off. I drive around Detroit, I film videos, I edit them, I'll post the full version, then the short version, and hope I use the correct keywords. And I'm going back looking through my old videos on YouTube and I'm creating shorts off of those videos, and that seems to be doing well. Bear is swamped with semen from some guy named Tom. Me makes sense. Don't take me serious, Superwoman. Everything I say is just silly. YouTube is complete entertainment for me. I actually like JC Bear. He's my homie. I don't really know Addie. But good for her because the drama is never ending. What's how's Sharon surviving without her channel? How was she able to act like a 3-year-old toddler without her channel and blow her whistles and horns and put on her birthday hats and do her news station stuff and pretend that she's better than a addict when she's an addict herself? She uses Maddie to hide the fact that she's an addict herself because Maddie lives in the streets and looks a little rougher. So Sharon wants everyone to focus on how bad Maddie looks and how bad Maddie's doing. So everyone forgets that Sharon herself is still an active addict, putting a needle in her arm 4 or 5 times a day, filled with fentanyl and who knows what kind of cut junk. But as long as she has everyone focusing on Maddie and how bad she's doing, believe me, she tells it 1,000 times a day about Maddie and what she's doing and how bad she's doing. She does that purposely so that she feels better about herself, for one, and for two, it don't really give other viewers time to focus on Sharon's issues because they keep being guided towards Maddie's situation. So in a way, Sharon hides her addiction by putting down someone who is in the same exact situation as herself until she takes her blinders off and finally admits that she's just as bad as an addict as Maddie and Gerald. There's no degrees of addicts. An addict is an addict. You can't be like a first degree addict Oh, I'm only a second degree addict. At least I'm not like her. She's a fifth degree addict. No, that's how Sharon looks at it, but it's not like that. Addicts are addicts. And I'm not making fun of addicts. I was an addict for years. I'm still an addict. I just don't use any kind of opiate or opioid, and I haven't since 2016. But the way Sharon goes about it, she be making all that content, and everything she makes is hiding the reality of her habit. And if others don't want to agree with me or want to argue with me, that's fine. But I'm sticking to what I'm saying. Sharon uses YouTube as a way to disguise her habit and pretend that she's a stage 1 addict and Maddie's a stage 5 addict. So as long as she's not like Maddie, then everything's cool for Sharon. That's how she's doing it. But and she's got all these people that are obsessed with her, and she's got them all thinking the same way. All of her followers and fans are happy and like when she makes fun of Maddie, but they seem to forget Sharon's the same exact person. Sharon doesn't have a job. Sharon doesn't have a house. Sharon is a fentanyl addict. So everything Sharon makes videos on Maddie about, and she makes a lot of them, she is the exact same in all those instances. The only thing is she does it so often and so like you can tell that she's a born con artist. The way she promotes her videos, she literally you wouldn't know she's an addict if you just started watching her videos because she plays the role of at least I'm not in that situation. Like people in Kensington, at least I'm not them. At least I'm not Maddie. She's in denial that she's a addict. If you're putting a needle in your arm numerous times a day, I don't care if it's freaking 3 sprinkles of fentanyl or 1 sprinkle of whatever she uses. There's no way to justify being an addict. You can't be, oh, I'm just a part time addict. I use just enough to get by. I'm a maintenance addict. You know, I use a little tiny bit to get me out of bed. And then later in the day, just a tiny bit to keep me going. Then you got Maddie who's nodding and begging for money, just shooting up nonstop, looking like a freaking zombie. That's not me, everybody. I'm Sharon. I'm just a maintenance ad. I have myself completely fooled. I have my viewers fooled, and I'm lying to myself every day that I continue to play this maintenance addict. At least I'm not like them role until she fucking gives up, surrenders, goes on video, says to all our viewers, I have to apologize to everyone. All you that backed me, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything and everyone, but I am an addict. I have a problem. I need help. I cannot hide behind YouTube anymore. I cannot pretend to be happy, pretend to be like my problem isn't affecting my life. I need help. I need to get clean and sober so I can go about life properly. Until she does that, she will never, ever change, regardless of how many zombie followers who are too dumb to see through her act she has. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I can't stand the way she belittles Maddie when she is the exact clone of Maddie when it comes to shooting needles in their arms, not owning a house, um, not having a job or any kind of steady income. Both are begging for money, but just in different ways. Sharon tries to be sneaky about how she asks for money, but it's still e-begging. So she's no better than Maddie. She never will be unless she gets clean. And I don't see that ever happening. She faked you guys out with rehab, not one time, but two times, maybe three times. And then she dogs on Maddie for leaving rehab early or lying about it. Yet Sharon made it 2 days and then she had a fucking arm socket problem that she did on purpose. The audacity of her to call Maddie out about rehab when she made herself in a situation to where she was allowed to leave rehab early because of her arm was out of place, which she purposely did and had planned all along. I guarantee it. All right, I'm done. I'm not spewing any more of my vibration, light, and high energy on her because it's just bringing down me as a person. And I can feel my energy and my high vibration going away. And I'm starting to get aggravated. And I don't want to be that as a person. I strive to be a happy, jolly, loving, caring person. So sorry I just vented about others. That's not the person I am. I kind of just got caught in the moment. And going forward, I will not be doing things like that. I just told you, Superwoman, I got caught in the moment. You're fair to call me what you want and what you will. You must be a friend of Sharon's, huh? I was just calling it how it is because that's the truth and that's how it's gonna be. Because I said so, motherfuckers. My baby does the hanky panky. Let's see. We got that one from back in the day. We got that one. I have some crazy ass banners from back in the day. These things are making me crack up. We'll stick with this one. Hookers smell like cabbage. My dis- my dynamic thrust will knock off that veggie dust. Although I don't ever even engage in sexual activity, I'm celibate. I've been celibate for 3 years and I'm enjoying it, honestly. I'm back. I'm back. I just had to do some crack. I'm back. I'm back, y'all. Crack rules. Oh, JC Bear, what's up, buddy? I miss you, man. I just got the heads up why you weren't on Bobbles. I stopped in there last night and didn't see you, buddy. Glad to see you. $10 Tommy, what's good, my dude? You guys missed my 10-minute out of character charade about Sharon hiding her habit behind YouTube and using Maddie to make herself feel better because she don't think she's in as bad a shape as Maddie. So that justifies her shoving a needle in her arm because it could be worse. That's her math. That's her madness and her thought pattern. You can look at the replay, but until she surrenders herself, she's no better than Maddie. She just uses that to make herself feel better since she's only a maintenance IV drug user. I've never heard of a maintenance IV drug user. You know, I'm only shooting fentanyl twice a day just to maintain everything. My maintenance doses of fentanyl in this needle in my arm. But it could be worse, guys. I could be like Maddie That's how Sharon convinces herself she's not an addict because she's not as bad as other addicts, except she is because she's homeless. She don't have a job. So what makes her different than the rest of them? She e-begs. She claims she don't, but she does. I wish and pray for all addicts to see the light and get clean. But when you're in denial about being an addict, I'm definitely not going to cheer for you until you finally admit you've been goosing everyone, hiding behind something. Just surrender. It's easy. Just tell everyone you have a problem. You're an addict. You're not as happy as you portray yourself online and you want to seek help. That's all you got to do. Don't be ashamed, embarrassed, scared. Once you do that, all your haters will then start supporting you because you're no longer lying, no longer deceiving. You're reaching out for help finally. If you're listening to this, I guarantee if you finally surrender and start telling the truth about your addiction, you'll find you have a lot more supporters than you would ever expect. All right, JC Bear, keep it real. Make sure you only go with the 6 inchers and not the men of steel. $10. Her, Sharon? Well, she's always fine in her videos and she goes on at all different times of the day. And if you're an addict with a tolerance, in order to stay good throughout the entire day, you gotta use at least $75 if you're shooting it. So she spends 75 to 100 a day easy. I mean, some people can hide being sick and not feeling good, but not for hours on end like she used to be on here. So every time she would come on YouTube, she was freshly shot up. And if she's been using for 20 some years, it's going to take more than just one $10 pack to get her right. So, say she does two, and she's going to do two at least 4 or 5 times a day. That's $100 right there. Easy. At my worst, I was using $150 and barely getting through a day. And she seems to be at a darker point than I ever was. Because I was a functioning junkie that worked 5 days a week, real work in a warehouse, not YouTube work, asking for donations. I was working to support my habit so I could work. Tell me how dumb that is. I'd get my little $500 check on a Thursday I'd buy all my shit that I needed to get me through till the next Thursday. And then it would do just that. Then I'd be broke. And then next payday came and I bought everything again. I did that over and over for like almost 5 years. I worked for nothing basically. I had nothing to show for in the 5 years I worked during my addiction. I literally worked to support a habit that I had to use in order to make it through a work day. In other hands, I was fucked up in a shitty place that I'm more than grateful and happy that I was able to get out of that situation by the grace of God, giving me that abscess. If I never got that abscess in 2016, I might still be using to this day. But that abscess was my meant to be moment. I haven't used an opiate or opioid since I got out of the hospital that last day when they gave me my last dose of Dilaudid. And that was in March of 2016. I've done other drugs since then, but zero opiates, zilch, not even Suboxone. I don't know, Sec was. Oh, for sure. Sharon's supporters were footing her bill easily. Why do you think she was always so happy and so close with her supporters? Because she had to make sure she kept them on that hook. If she lost them, then there goes staying at Polo's. Then there goes easy access to what she needs. Then there goes to her having to boost in stores. She would eventually have got caught and went to jail or did something really stupid to get herself in some real trouble. But of course, she didn't have to do that because she had plenty of money coming in from YouTube and her supporters. That's why I'm curious to see how she's doing now since her channel was lost. I'm sure someone is helping her have it out, which it's none of my business. None of it, none of what people do to these addicts is my business. The only thing I call people out on is when they're in denial or lying or acting like something isn't happening when it is. Sharon was in total denial about her habit the last 3 years. She almost got to the point where it wasn't even a subject on her channel anymore. She had her viewers so obsessed with what she did and was doing that no one even brought up her habit or her using anymore. They were all focused on Maddie's habit and what Maddie's doing and when Maddie's gonna pass and this and that. And Sharon loved that. It's almost like she was living in a sober body to her viewers. And it was almost like a double life. to her viewers, she got to be that sober person she wants to be, but off camera, she be sticking that needle in any vein she could find. And that's for sure. I'll be here. I'm here 1 sec. Oops. 2 viewers. I'm gonna take the cam off. Any hoot. This is kind of fun. What's at 10? I don't believe so. Oh. So anyway, I only got 2 people. I'm not cool like the other ones, huh? I got a bottle full of Klonopins if anyone wants to come over and see who can fall asleep the fastest. I got 90 of them. I just picked them up yesterday from the pharmacy. 91 milligram Kalanis. Who wants to have a benzo party? Just kidding. I gotta make them last till next month or I'll be miserable. So I take them as prescribed. I'll probably take a few extra on occasion, but then when it gets close to my next prescription, if I'm getting low, some days I'll only be able to take one and vice versa. I refuse to go a day without any because that's hell on earth times 9,874. Oh, everyone left me. You're all gone. We all left you. Peace out. We don't want you around no more. We are only here for a chore. See ya. Oh, Michigan made, just see ya. My screen name was Maria until I got locked up in. What's up? Who's still in here? Anybody? It's getting boring. 3 users. What are we talking about? Y'all. Oh, you're still here, JC? Nice. How's school going, JC Bear? Good? Are you almost done, brother? I hope you're almost done. I haven't been paying attention. I guarantee that's what's going on, $10 Tommy. Oh, awesome, JC Bear. I'm happy for you, brother. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of drama. I am not interested in finding any of it out. No offense to you, JC Bear. I just don't understand why the people directly involved in the drama continue to go back and forth with the people instead of just walking away and ignoring them 100% day in and day out. If you don't respond to what they're saying, and if you don't write anything yourself, then eventually it's got to die down, or someone's got to assume this isn't fun anymore. And then people would stop trying to continue with this drama war. In my opinion, anyway, if I was one of the girls that are getting harassed and it's bothering them, I would just ignore it, move on, pretend that that person doesn't exist, and it should help because the troll or the person bothering the other person is going to get pissed off because their trolling is no longer directly affecting the person they're trying to upset. So they're either going to troll harder or give up. And I believe most will give up. I wish some of these ladies would take that advice, but in a way, the drama is the only thing keeping their channels alive, too, I guess. Deep down, I think psychologically, they love the drama. They want the drama. It's just they don't want to tell everyone that they love the drama. It's a wild, wild community that I stay on the outer edges of because I don't like drama and it can suck you in like a 75-year-old hole in the wall hooker given a $2 beager in the 80s. It can suck you in with that kind of force. Believe me, some of these girls know exactly what they're doing and they keep doing it for a reason. Like I said, they either secretly enjoy it or they're secretly being paid to do it or they're being blackmailed to do it. It's got to come down to one of the three, in my opinion, because it's so easy to just walk away and move on and continue your life without even looking on YouTube. You just Move on, keep living. If you're not paying attention to the drama, then the drama really doesn't exist, right? Because for every action, there's always a reaction. So if you're not providing that drama action, then the person that is trolling you won't have anything to react to. I think I said that right. What if cat spelled dog? What if CAT spelled dog? Whoa, that's heavy, ogre. Revenge of the Nerds Part 2 quote when they're smoking that hookah on the beach. Revenge of the Nerds. Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. Nerd, nerd, nerd. They call you a spaz, a dweeb, or a geek. Oh, there's behind the scenes game planning left and right. I called that out from day one. That's why it's never going to end unless you ignore it. You got people who are working together, who are designing fucking playbooks how to go at this other said person and this and that. It's a designed, it's almost like a game. It's like the Hunger Games of YouTube. People are working together, but they're also working with the other people that they helped said person go after. So who is that main, we'll call him the chief, the chief of the tribe? There's someone playing all angles. One of them is telling so and so to attack person number one, we'll say, while that same person is telling person number one that she heard person number three and person number two were going to screenshot their instant message chat from the other night and post it. All this time, the chief of the tribe goes back and tells the original person to start saying things to person number three, knowing that person number three will get mad and post the screenshot. And once it's posted, the chief is gonna act like she's angry and pissed at the person for saying something, and then she's gonna cuddle and care for the person who gets affected by this, all while laughing like the Joker off camera. That's how it goes, and it's going to continue to go. Person one and two are going to be fighting person 6 and 7 before person 3 tells person 2 that person 1 was telling person 6 shit they weren't supposed to know. Then person 1 hates person 2 all of a sudden and teams up with person 6. Then person 7 says something about person 2 to person 6. So now person 2 and 6 are beefing. Person 1 and 2 are beefing. Person 6 and 7 are beefing. And now everyone is beefing with everyone. And the chief is just sitting back, smiling at her little puppets that she created. Oh, yeah. This is some wonderful stuff. That stuff is fantastic. Does anyone else drink sparkling ice, black cherry? $10 Tommy, exactly. All for a $200 YouTube check. I honestly don't think much of this has gotten much deeper than YouTube. It really is all YouTube shit. Like, as soon as the person signs off YouTube for the day or night, everything that went down, like, is stored in a file in their head. And then they go talk to their husband and kids, make dinner, everything's good. And then they sit in their computer chair and it's like YouTube drama file activated, putting on drama glasses activated. Then they start typing. I can't believe you posted that when I told you that we were going to have a truce. Now I can't rely on you. Mom, come here. Drama glasses deactivated. What do you need, honey? Help with my homework. All right, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Click, 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 click. Drama glasses activated. This isn't done with. I'll be right back. I'm gonna have the final say in this, bitches. Drama glasses inactivated. Here I come, honey. I'm glad I could help you, sweetheart. Oh, Tim, I'll be in bed in a little bit, honey. I'll give you some of that head from Mississippi that really gets you swirling, baby. Glasses, drama glasses activated. You bitches, I can't believe you all suck. You're making me hate my life. I can't believe this shit. You called her work and then she called his work. I'm gonna dox all you bitches, motherfuckers. YouTube, glasses deactivated. Hey, honey, you ready for me to give you that blow job like Betty did in that porno we watched from the 40s called Castles Coming? Oh, I'm ready, honey. Okay, here goes. Husband falls asleep. Drama glasses activated. Oh, now she's siding with her. Oh my God, you guys, I can't take this no more. You guys want to go to war? We're going to war. All right, it's done. It's on, bitch. It's on now. You want to get like that? It's on, bitch. What, you think you're hotter than me, bitch? Edit, 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 edit. Would you like to post these 15 edited photos? Yes. Look how hot I am, motherfucker. Look at this, bitch. You'll never look like me. That's just a little brief example of how I see the drama community going down. I may be wrong, but we're all allowed to have our own thoughts, beliefs, and opinions, right? I wish I had some ice $10 Tommy. I said earlier I took an Adderall. I haven't took one in like 2 years. That fucking thing still got me freaking grinding my teeth. I wish I would never have taken it. I'm never gonna again. It's not even fun. My arm's been fucking shaking this whole time I'm holding my phone. And then the crash is soon to come, but thank God I got my Klonopin. But yeah, Leland will never take an Adderall again. When I was working at Penske, I took them every morning. And then this was the first time I took one in like 2 years. And it's definitely working because I feel fucking wired. I can't believe these things are given to children and they're legal. I mean, this shit way stronger than crack. I was doing crack in my heroin days, and there was never any kind of crack that hit me as hard as Adderall does. Oh, I thought you were making a funny because I'm being hyper and I seen ice. You see how recovering addict's mind operates, Tommy? But I didn't know they made it in the can, brother. I'm gonna have to check that out. Who you guys talking about? Who was making threats? Now this is some drama I'm interested in. This is sounds pretty crazy. Who was saying what and why? If it was deleted, it had to be pretty harsh. Oh, you were talking about Nitty, huh? What did Nitty do that was bad? Yeah, they also went up 35 cents. These things were a buck. Now they're $1.35 at Kroger. I don't know what kind of fast one they think they're pulling, but it's not going to work on me much longer. Dollar was the perfect price for my sparkling ice. If you want to sponsor me, sparkling ice, you can email me at Leland is rad 6258 at AOL.com. Well, horrific. What was Nitty saying? Can someone break it down to me in a summary that's quick and to the point? Oh, that was so good. I'm a sparkle and ice fiend for real. I'll show you how much of a sparkle and ice fiend I am. I drink 4 of these a day. It's a lot better than when I used to drink 4 monsters a day. I'll tell you that. I'm so glad I discovered sparkling ice. It's only been maybe a year since I stopped drinking 4 monsters a day. Now I don't drink any monsters. Why won't anyone tell me what Nitty did? Oh well, life goes on. Yes, I do. Black cherry's my favorite one. Is that your favorite one? Or it must be everyone's if you pick if you narrowed it down to that one out of all the different flavors, that's either crazy or it's obviously everyone's favorite. But yeah, every single look, I'll show you every single bottle I have is black cherry. I like the lime one too, the one that's clear. I think it's lemon lime. It kind of tastes like Sprite almost. Let's see. Look, black cherry, black cherry, black cherry, black cherry, black cherry. I'm a black cherry man. What
What's up,
up?
bro?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, not much, man. You hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you been, bro?
Good, man. Good. I haven't been over to the D in about a month or so. Um, I saw you pull up on that marathon over there. I go there quite often on McGraw and Warren.
Yeah, did you see a video or did you actually? Oh, yeah, you don't know where I
No, no,
live.
I saw your video. I don't know if that was recent or if that was one that you had done
No,
before and
I
just put it up.
a lot of times when I leave work now, I take either Scotton or the Boulevard up to Warren just to see if Maddie and Gerald are at the marathon off Warren because that's the one they go to a lot.
Actually, I know it was recent because
Warren and
I
McGraw.
worked.
Warren and McGraw, right? Right there.
Yeah, the
Like
marathon right there.
30th Street and yeah.
So I work for a media company and we do ad campaigns like at one of the venues we do is gas stations. Like I've been to
Uh,
every gas station in Detroit, dude. I mean it's but
right.
but that there's a poster up there on the marathon. I put the frame up there like years ago. But there's a new poster up there that I saw in your video. It was a light blue poster and it's
Uh-huh.
regarding opiate addiction.
Okay. Yeah, that the
But yeah, that's I'm actually on the west side of the state, but I they send me over to Detroit a lot because a lot of
right.
people don't want to fuck. They don't want to fuck with those gas stations.
Man, the neighborhoods behind that marathon are rough, man. That's where I got a lot of my latest videos. There's a lot of freaking bandos back there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean you could tell at one time. Obviously, like most of Detroit, it was probably a busy because it's got like that 5-way intersection.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah, that
dude, the
was
only thing there is the marathon and the liquor store.
yeah. That's it. I mean, like all of Warren right there until you get to Livernois. Like between Livernois and the Boulevard, it's like a ghost. It's deserted. But like
Every time,
if you're at the light on Warren and the Boulevard, both sides the houses are huge, so that had to have been a happening area, you know.
oh yeah,
Now
yeah,
I
just about every
especially
time.
go ahead.
Just I was gonna say, just about every time I go up there for a new campaign to put a new ad up, I
Uh-huh.
swear to God, I get approached by a hooker up there.
I,
What?
I don't
There
ever
used to
get
be
out
a
of the
real
car there, but I don't doubt it. They
no, yeah. There
if
used to be
you
a really attractive black prostitute up there. Her name was Acura, like the car.
uh-huh.
But I found out she passed away recently. I guess from cancer, of all things.
Oh, man,
One of
that's
the
sad,
OGs told me the last time I was up there.
right? If especially when you're going, yeah, rest in peace her. If you're going that way on Warren to the left, like to the 94 side, that's real desolate. I mean, I don't know if there's one area if they tore all the houses down or if it was always big, huge fields. You know what I'm talking about by like 30th and the service drive? It's literally
Yeah,
not one house. It's on the other side of 94 before you come to like right before Warren, there's like from 30th to like 23rd, there's like a 10-acre freaking lot of just fields. It don't even look like houses have been there before. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, dude. I tried telling people, man.
It's like
I
right off of
travel the Midwest.
Love It. Go ahead.
No, I said I tried telling people, man. I've been all over. I go all over the Midwest, man. Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee, shit, Louisville, Flint. Obviously Michigan, all the city, Grand Rapids, and that. Ain't no city in the Midwest will hit you like Detroit when you see the blight and shit in Detroit. Like, I'm not talking about like going to Detroit for a Lions game, going downtown. You ain't gonna see shit. I'm talking about in the neighborhoods. Like I said, I've been to about every gas station in Detroit, and I see some crazy ass shit. I've never had anything happen to me. Luckily, no one's ever fucked with me, but I've seen it all in Detroit. East side, west side, obviously southwest.
And
And
what's
there's
even
no
more crazier
close.
with the blight you're seeing now, just 10 years ago, there was 60,000 more bandos up. They tore down over 60,000 bandos since 2014. So imagine how it looked just 8 years ago.
Unbelievable. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I know they're going to get
I
them
was
down,
reading
but
articles, and when they got caught at first, overcharging and billing, and they were fucking what Duggan was pocketing money because they were
yeah.
saying it cost like 2 mil to tear it down when it was like one. So he got busted, so they stopped doing it for a while. But from 2014 to 2017, they went from 63,000 bandos down to like 30 something. And then they started again in 2018. And then they passed Proposition N. There's 16,000 houses left of blight, and they want to tear down 8,000 and repair 8,000 to make livable. And they've been averaging like 50 houses a week tearing down.
Well, that's good,
I was
man.
gonna say that because they just got to that neighborhood we were discussing. I was going down Colfax behind the marathon. They put big yellow stickers and a yellow sign that says "Home will be demolished soon" on all the houses they're gonna tear down, and I'm seeing them on the
Yeah,
west side now. They must have started on the east side.
that's good, man. I know people been snapping up them bandos for years.
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't sight unseen. That dude Shay,
yeah,
he's got that you ever watch his shit?
he's a slumlord, but he's cool. Freaking he owns like 100 houses, but he's always kicking out his tenants. So I mean, is it him or what? I mean, how can every tenant be bad? He's got like 50
No,
videos where he's kicking out tenants.
no, I think what's going on is he works for some overseas investor. So this guy
Yeah,
buys the houses and they got squatters in all those houses.
that's how it
And this,
started. Yeah, but remember when they were offering the houses for $5 a piece? There
yeah,
was a bunch of guys paying Shay to like drive by and take photos and stuff. Guys in China and guys, yeah, all over Europe and shit. And Shay was, yeah, you're right. He looks after the houses, fixes them up, and then he's kind of like a security guard, and that's how he gets paid. Plus, he got a few houses of his own that he rents out.
see, a lot of times they'll get them squatters. They got rights, man. They got to take them to court to get them out of there, and then they'll get them out of there. You probably know this. So they'll get them out of
Yeah.
there. They'll wait a couple days to go firebomb the fucking
It,
house.
it was real bad a few years ago when Charlie LaDuff did a special on it. But fuck, I mean, I don't know. I hate it both ways because I mean the ugly houses are terrible looking, but it looks like shit too when it's just empty fields. Like,
Yeah.
Southwest over by like Mobile, the Oakwood Heights part where they tore down all the houses by Oakwood Road in Fort by the Mobile.
Driven through there.
Yeah, you know how it's all fields now? They tore down all the houses. They used to call it like Bayside, Oakwood Heights. It's like literally like Fort and Dix. Like it's right where that you cross the bridge, the bridge that opens up for boats, right when you cross that to get on the fort. To the right was the old Oakwood neighborhood, and Marathon bought everyone out and they tore down the whole neighborhood, like 6 blocks of houses. And there's like 3 stand-ins, but it looks I just think it looks bad with just all fields. And I don't know. I'm the kind of, I like history. I don't want the houses torn down. But at least fucking Charlie Bo's got them all on record and video for years to come.
No, someone's gonna make out when they eventually redevelop all that stuff. But I guess
You
the
remember?
bigger issue is where all these people going to go. That they're
Right. Well, you remember on the east side when Kwame had all those new houses built by the state fair hood, and freaking before they could put them up for sale, they were all gutted, stripped bare. Like the houses just got built from the ground up, piping, everything. They were about to put them for sale, and overnight they all like 100 houses got gutted bare, stripped of all the wiring, copper, everything. So they just had to fucking put a fucking chopped off that what's the word I'm looking for? They put an end to it, man. They squashed that mission, and now all those houses still sit over there in like Chaldean Town area and 7 Mile and State Fair. You'll see houses with like newer updated siding and stuff, but they're all boarded up because they weren't able to sell them because people destroyed them before they hit the market.
amazing, man.
That's why
It's
you only
amazing what
see, yeah,
people got to do to protect their assets.
basically that's why you only see new houses going up or remodeled houses in like hipster land, Corktown, and the number streets off Buchanan around like Michigan and Livernois, like that neighborhood. There's a bunch of new houses, but it's all like Wayne State grads, like the hipsters.
Yeah, Corktown, Midtown,
Those
and
are
then
the
that
only,
neighborhood.
yeah, they're rebuilt all those with new housing and they seem to be staying up. But the new housing they put in the east side didn't last. And that's why they don't put new houses up because of that. But the new, you familiar with the Conant Garden, not Brewster projects, but the Conant Garden projects off Joy Road in Southfield? I think that's what they
Not
look
really.
like. The real famous projects off Southfield, but it's been torn down a long time ago. But they built condos and apartments where it used to be, and they're still in nice shape, surprisingly. And that's right at Joy in Southfield, like right in the hood.
Right where T Grizzly grew up.
Right. Yeah, the Brewster projects was on the Lower East Side, right? So this was, fuck, it's got a famous name too. It's like the biggest drug spot in the 80s in Detroit.
See, I only got real familiar with Detroit
Yeah,
since the last 5 years.
take it easy, Bear. Right.
I only got real
Yeah.
familiar. I mean, because I grew up in Flint, but dude, we weren't outside of some
I've been
sports stuff,
watching some
basketball.
videos on Flint. It looks like Flint they ain't trying to tear down none of their blight, huh? They don't give a shit, it looks like.
It's bad up there. I don't want to say it's as bad as Detroit because it's a lot smaller. I mean, the population's under 100,000 now up there. So, right. But it's not like when you're like growing up there, you like go down to Detroit to fuck around. I mean, so I never, outside of some stuff for high school football and basketball, like we used to play it. I went to a small Catholic school up in Flint, not Powers. Everybody knows Powers. It's since
Right.
closed, but we used to play in the Catholic League. We used to play Hedwig. I've
Oh,
been in I've
I
been to Hedwig. The gym at Hedwig is about as small. It's like a Cracker Jack box.
right. There was a ton of those little small Catholic Detroit schools that got shut down. I remember now. It was called the Herman Garden Projects off Joy and
Okay,
Southfield.
okay,
They were
yeah.
notorious. They were like as famous as the projects in New York in the 80s. The Herman Gardens was that's where all like the YBI and the frickin' Chamber Brothers, like they all hung out in that area.
Dude, that
Um,
documentary channel, I think it's called. I know you've watched it because I think you sliced some video clips.
I
That
did
seven
because
mile blood that seven
yeah,
mile
because
blood video. It's got like 12 million views.
it said free documentaries, so I didn't think I waited for some good parts and I put them on my thing and I instantly got a copyright, but it says free documentary. So I thought it meant like it's free, use it how you want. Because there was a part in it how they were talking about street politics, and I thought that would make a great shorts clip. So I recorded 30 seconds of it and made it a shorts, and it got freaking flagged instantly.
Damn, crazy. You want to hear this Nitty story real quick? That's why I jumped
Yeah,
on here.
please. Yeah, yes,
And I
please.
know anybody that's listening probably wants. So, you know, he got booted from the Campbell, right?
I just learned recently.
So, anyways, they've been trying to get him out of there for a while. So he made a big production out of it, and when they showed up that day to kick him out, dude, DPD was deep, dude. I got a feeling they got a little track record with Nitty. They knew it could be some trouble going in there and getting him out of there.
Right.
So he filmed the whole thing. So he put the whole thing out there for the world to see. Dude, and his place was a mess. It was disgusting. His band or whatever the hell he's living in over there.
Right.
And he's got those his two kids and adorable kids. And to my knowledge, no one's ever did a personal attack on Nitty's kids. Any attacks on Nitty have been on him for the way he's taking care of those kids in squalor conditions. He's got that pit bull in there too, and he had it like in a little cage, like in a closet. It was bad, right? So, and he may have just done that just because the dog probably would have been going crazy with all his police over there. So he gets booted. All his people start donating money to him, right? Like this is like just a week or two ago. So, everybody watches the video. They're commenting on everybody's channel about how filthy and disgusting the conditions were. So the other night, Bobbles goes on because Nitty was, talking. Apparently, they've been going back and forth, just like you said. Like the shit never ends, right? It just gets nonstop.
Right.
So I think Nitty had said some shit about her or whatever. So she goes on and talks about the conditions and this and that. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I don't think she would have said anything personally about his kids. So last night, I couldn't, shit, sorry. I couldn't sleep. So I jumped on YouTube. It was like 4:00 in the morning. And Nitty's live on his D City TV. And he's going straight off, like calling Bobbles a slob, calling her all kinds of names and shit. And going after her about attacking his kids, basically, which I don't think she ever did. She was
Right.
attacking him for letting the kids live in those conditions. Okay. So then
Uh-huh.
he's making these threats about how he's going down to Tennessee to visit somebody because Bobbles, I guess, lives in Tennessee. So he's making these vague threats, and then he's talking about you don't know how we do it in the D. He goes, I might not even come after you. I might come after your or someone might come after your family. He never specifically said, "Hey, I'm gonna like kill somebody or anything."
Right.
so
I mean,
he's
damn
making
right
these
close
threats
enough.
about going to Tennessee. And then where it gets really bad is he gets into racist nitty.
Oh,
You've heard
Lord.
racist nitty before, right?
That's why I originally didn't like him. Yeah.
So, and then he gets into fuck the police nitty
Oh,
because
gee.
the police did him wrong because they kicked him out of his bando that he probably wasn't paying for anything there that he
Right.
shouldn't have been living in probably. Shit. So, so so then Nitty starts saying he references there was a recent police shooting on the west side and they shot a young mental. He was like 21. He was threatening to stab his family and shit. Police show up. I haven't watched the whole video. It's on the west side somewhere. Police show up, and I saw some of the video, and they're pleading like they always do. Put the knife down, dude. We can work this out. We can talk about it. The dude comes after him with the knife, and they shoot the guy and kill him. Okay, so this just happened. I don't know if you heard about it, but apparently they shot like 38 times. So there's probably going to be some people in trouble because you know how shit is now after the George Floyd thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though the guy came after him, he had an 8-inch blade on him. They shot him 38 times. So Nitty starts going off and says, and he said this multiple times. I'm assuming he's talking about the African American community. We celebrate when a police officer gets killed in the line of duty.
Wow.
He flat out fucking said that multiple times on the live, dude. Sorry, dude. I got like a heart condition deal, man. So sometimes, but anyways, so he's going off about white people, about holding them down, even after all these people that support him. I guarantee most of them are white. Apparently, they sent him like $1,000, and he's on the whole "woe is me" and "fuck the police" thing, like the whole time he's on his live, and multiple times talking about celebrating police getting killed in the line of duty. So apparently, he's already taken it down.
Wow. Yeah, he's definitely plays that victim, like blaming shit that happened in the fucking 1500s on to, like if you're white, you're associated with what the people did in the 1600s. That he plays that card a lot.
So, and I'm probably leaving out some stuff, but he also said he was done with YouTube. I'm not sure why he's mad at YouTube. I mean, dude, you're the one putting your shit out there for everyone to see. And he also said that he was moving to Seattle.
Seattle is he a liberal? That's a diehard liberal. Freaking, they'd fit in, and they got a big old homeless community. But
all I know is the cost of living is like 3 times what it is in the Midwest.
He's all about the gritty D hood life. I don't know if he'd fit in with those white alternative hipster kids in Seattle. The fucking new age Alice in Chains and Nirvana kids. We were the original. Now there's like a new age, like alternative era in Seattle.
I don't know where it came from. It came from the left field, but I kind of doubt Nitty's going anywhere outside of Detroit.
Where's he staying right now? Anyone know?
I have no idea. Supposedly,
I pulled up to the Campbell today. I made it. Did you see that video? I posted it earlier. I drove all the way up to where the road's blocked off, and I got out of my car and was filming it, yelling out Frank's name, but he didn't pop out of nowhere.
I don't know. Does it look like people are still living there?
Yeah, there was some windows open and shit, and I heard noise, but not enough to decipher like proof, but you could tell the noise was coming from where the windows were open there. There was a lot of windows open. I just, you know how the Campbell Road goes right to the left of the building, but now it's blocked
Yeah.
off, so you only can go halfway. You can pull in the driveway where the alley is. I stopped right there, and I just filmed the back half and the side of the building where he's always filming all that construction work. And I yelled, Frank, Frank, Nitty, a few times and didn't hear anything. So I got back in my car and left. I think
Yeah,
that
supposedly.
was after I went through Mama Kelly's house, her old bando.
Supposedly, and he said it himself, they offered him $2,000 a couple months ago to leave. So whether or not he took him up on that,
Maybe he relapsed, man, and hitting the pipe again if he got that much choke.
I know
You know
this.
what? You know when Nitty's all yelling on YouTube and crazy? It's when he's zannied up. You can tell when he's on Xannies and when he's not. When Nitty eats a bunch of Xanax, that's wild, crazy Nitty. When he's more like just chilling, that's weed Nitty. But he's definitely a Xanax addict because he'll start this talking and he won't stop, and he has no idea the topics he's spewing. And I guarantee the next morning he don't remember a thing about being on live for 10 hours. It's just he's got all those that courage from the benzos because they act as same way alcohol acts. Really, they give you that courage and that fucking
He might have
bravery.
been fucked up last night, but
He,
I'm
I
telling you,
know,
dude,
I know he likes his Xanax, man.
he might have been fucked up then, man. I don't I don't like calling people out, dude, but that shit he was saying last night was fucked up.
Right. I'm not calling out here. I mean, he's admitted that he takes it. And then that one time on video, he showed his table and he had like 30 bars just laying out on the table. But I can tell someone when they're on a shit tons of benzos. And in a lot of these videos, he's fucking zannied out big time. It gives him those that courage that he didn't, that you don't get sober. Just like a lot of people that get busted stealing, they say they were on Xanax and they don't remember doing it, which is true. Back in my addict times, I freaking used to have no fear of stealing from like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, but I'd be zannied up. I walked out of Home Depot, ripped the chainsaw off the display wall, and walked right out the doors, and no one said a word, nothing happened. Took it right to a pawn shop and got my money. It was like the most expensive one. You know how they just have a cable holding it? Well, there was no
Yeah,
cable on this one, so I just took it, put it on my side, like started walking with it on the side of my leg and walked right out the inway and no one said a word. But I would have never did that if I wasn't zannied up.
crazy, man.
I got away so many times, fucking Beats by Dre from Walmart, all kinds of watches from Kohl's. And then I finally my luck struck my luck a few too many times. I was at Walmart in Southgate and I had some kind of electronic that was worth like $80. And as I was walking out, the Southgate police were waiting for me at the door. I had to take the walk of
Oh,
shame.
shit.
But they said by 1 cent, I got saved from a felony. I got what's it retail fraud, but the easiest one by 1 cent. He said, you know, if this costs 1 cent more, you would have retail fraud second degree felony. I was wow. I mean, I got lucky. I got two retail frauds on my fucking record from my fucking bad days, but one of them got off. because if I finished everything what's it called when you, you can extract something from your record if you follow the
Expunge.
guidelines? Yeah, if I did everything because I have a teaching degree. If I ever wanted to go back in it, I didn't want that on my record. So they set it up to where if I finished probation, everything was fine. They would expunge it when after a year. So that one got expunged, but then my dumbass goes and gets another one, and you only can have one expunged. You can't expunge more than one.
Interesting.
That was at, you know where Southland Mall is in Taylor?
Not familiar. Probably have
It's
driven by it,
it's
but
on like Eureka Road. You know where Eureka Road is? It like
yep.
this is downriver. Well, I stole like a bunch of $400 watches from Kohl's. So I tried it again the next day, and as I'm walking out the door, the lady stopped me, and I busted through her grip easy. I ran into Southland. I ran through it out the back door, all the way down to Target. I bought new clothes, went in the changing room, put on my new clothes I just bought. And as I was walking out of Target, the Taylor cops were waiting on me. So that didn't work. I just want to know how they tracked me because they didn't get there for a while. And the Target from the mall is like a couple thousand feet. So I wonder how I got caught running from the back of Southland to Target, changing clothes in the changing room that I purchased. Oh, that was crazy. This is all
Probably
around
glad the days
2000,
are over.
2013, 2014-ish when I was deep into my heroin days. But I never stole from a human or a family member or anything. All my stealing was retail fraud.
That's got to be a bad feeling waking up every
Yeah,
day
it was.
knowing you got to go steal something to get your high.
It sucked. Well, I had a license, so my boy would do it mainly. But he had we had a thing going. All the Krogers, he would fill a cart up full of monsters and Red Bulls, and then I would walk in the indoor so it opens, and he would walk right out the indoor and right to my car because they're not watching the indoor because they assume it only opens when you walking in, you know. So I
Yeah.
nonchalantly would walk in and the doors would open, and he would walk out with a cart full of freaking energy drinks and pops, load up my trunk, and then we'd go to a party store and the dude would buy it all for like freaking a quarter on every dollar. But at that time, when you need to get a fix, you know, money's money. I'm so glad I'm fucking not in that life anymore. It's crazy the things I did.
Yeah, that's got to be bad.
Then the
I
very
wonder if
last
old.
time he got caught at the last time someone seen him at the last second, they chased him, tackled him in the parking lot. This is at the Lincoln Park Kroger. He fucking tore his ACL. They didn't see me. He looked at me and nodded for me to leave. So I just nonchalantly walked around a few aisles to my car and I left. He got taken to the hospital and then they let him go home, but he had a court date. And that was the last day of doing that. But we hit every fucking Kroger in fucking the area. Inkster, Dearborn, Taylor,
No wonder why
Westland,
their prices are so fucking high nowadays.
right?
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
But I can't believe
I
how
want
easy
even.
it used to be, man. You just walk out the indoor and like no one ever. We got away with it 100 times before they finally caught him, and that was because a guy looked over his shoulder at the last second. And another thing he would do was steal a bunch of expensive like deodorant and hair products, and then you take them back without a receipt, and they give you a store gift card for the store, and then at the party store they would buy the gift card too. That's another scam. You can take back shit without a receipt, but you only get store credit. So You would get like $50 hair dye, like $40 cologne.
I always wonder why these places always advertise about buying gift cards. I knew there was something shady behind it, but
Yeah,
I didn't know exactly how the whole
just
program
like
worked.
yeah, it's just that was early day hustling before the bridge card was around. Now you just got to sell your bridge card to the right party store. Did you hear about the Cass Bar when that lady got busted for running that illegal fucking pawn? Basically, upstairs she had all the guns and all that, all like the fiends would come to her with something and she'd give them money for like she was basically running a pawn shop slash um what the fuck's that loan sharking. It happened about 4 years ago. You don't remember that? Right at the Cass
No,
Bar where you went with Secular, the
yeah,
old
yeah,
lady,
yeah.
the old lady that runs it. She was running a fucking like a racket where she was trading guns and fucking food from food cards, anything, and she would give you cash to get your dope. And they went upstairs and they found like $1 million cash and guns and all kinds of TVs, stereos, receivers. But she did something because she's working at the bar again. It's only been a few years. I thought she was toast for good.
What?
Yeah, the bar's open and she's still there. It's the old lady that owns it. You've probably seen her the day you were in there. But
Yeah, it was a younger, but
me and my
that's the
cousin
only time.
Mitchell, we used to take fucking cases of Mountain Dew and Pepsi to her and get paid in cash. Because she could use it at the bar, you know. So I was
Right.
in there all the time. It was crazy, crazy time.
Yeah, next time I get sent back out there, I'll get in touch with you and we'll meet up somewhere over there in Michigan.
Yeah, Secular will have to guess a number if he's allowed to come. No, I'm kidding. I like Secular. He's just a little. Me and him are totally opposite humans. Like, I'm not materialistic at all. Not. I'm very quiet in person. Like he's like the strike the converse. We're total opposites, but he's a good dude.
No, he's a good. I've actually met with him a couple times when I've been out there.
Right.
So he's a good time. He's a good. He's a good time.
I just
We had
like
fun at that.
I just bust his balls. I've never actually gotten like a dispute with him on here. I've always just teased him and stuff, but he's always been cool and real with me from day one on here. So I just like to
One,
bust. I just like to make fun of some of the shit he does, like his interviews with Renee. Sometimes he takes that shit a little far, little creepy, but it is what it is.
yeah, I was hoping he was still on here. I was going to ask her how she was because she was in the hospital for a while, and then I guess she left. But then they
Is
talked
it
her into
because
going
of
back.
all the fucking abscesses? She had abscesses everywhere.
Yeah, she had some kind of infection, probably sepsis.
Oh,
So
sure.
I don't know. I got his number. I got to ask him how she's doing. So, but well, shit, dude. I'm gonna jump off here and watch this football game. Who's on tonight? Do you know who's playing tonight?
No, I fucking after the Lions fucking lost the last 3 games, I fucking gave up on the NFL already. They started off 1-1. I thought it might be a hope, and their last 3 games they fucking are garbage. So I'm gonna start rooting
Dude,
for the Dolphins. But I all day long I was in Detroit driving around getting footage, so I didn't even watch football. I watched college Michigan because I'm trying
at
to
this
stop.
point, there's only one game to worry about: Michigan, Ohio State. Dude, that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
College
slow down
football's
on sports betting because I've been playing way too much online poker, and there's a lot of my fucking bankroll's been getting sucked up into the online poker cooler because it seems to reward the worst player. Someone like I'll have three of a kind aces, and someone will have 7-4 of hearts. The flop will be one heart. I'm betting big. They call, and it'll go heart on the turn and river, and they win $1,000 pot with nothing just because they're gambling. I mean,
Right.
I've lost about 30% of my bankroll playing poker. Last year I was posting on the site. I won a ton of money betting last year, like 60K. This year I'm in the red for sure.
It's a business, man. It's not set up for you to win. Damn, I'm looking at these comments. You need to get Carrie Ann up on the panel. She's the one that's got her finger on the pulse with all this shit.
She's awesome.
She knows what.
She's been my number one lady on here since I've been coming on for a few years. I need to make her a moderator. I just don't know how because I got a phone. I need to go on a desktop or a laptop. It don't let you make mods from a cell phone.
Well, keep going live, dude, because all these fucking clowns got me blocked.
Yeah.
Everyone's got me blocked, dude. Everyone's got me blocked everywhere.
I'm gonna catch up on the chat too. Thanks for coming up, brother.
Yeah, dude. I'll check you out next time. Try to get back on a regular schedule. Shit.
You're one of the only normal people on here. Go ahead.
Dude, like when you started doing it, remember 2 years ago, you were coming on like every day after work and shit. You were getting shit, dude. You were getting like 50 people in your chats.
Yeah, I was getting big for a while, and then someone doxed my parents' house, and I got fucking furious, and that's when I stopped doing it for a while. They probably, because that's where it shows me last living, so they probably were looking me up, but I haven't lived there in like 6 years. I live in my aunt's house that she gave it to me in her will, but it's still in her name, you know? So if you look me up, it don't show where I actually live, which is a good thing.
These cocksuckers that fucking start doing this doxing shit with home addresses, work shit, and talking about people's kids. That's bullshit, man.
You fuck with someone calling their boss saying they're smoking this. I mean, that's people's livelihood. That's why I said you got to separate YouTube from the real life, but no one does it. Well, some, but not many.
Yeah, these people are fucking nuts, man. Dude, it's only gotten worse over the ever since Tom Reed left. It's like all hell is broken loose.
That's a weird one. Going to Georgia and his van just happens to break. I mean, come on,
dude. I don't watch this shit no more. Maybe Carrie Ann knows. Dude, it almost looks like that dude just abandoned all his shit in West Branch and just moved down to Georgia. Like he just left his condo, all his shit up there. Unless he's going on lives and saying otherwise. Like I said, I don't know if anybody in the chat listens to him anymore. But dude, it looks kind of suspicious, man. But when you think about that dude, everything looks suspicious around that guy.
I think the guy he's living with, they're both being farmers. I think it's his new boyfriend, not to bash his character. It's just my opinion. I think he's got something going with the guy, honestly.
Wow.
Two grown men living together, playing farmers. And I mean, I really think it's his lover. Because he was going to Atlanta before this, remember? And he always talked about a buddy that was storing something for him. Guy. He was storing his butt until Tom got down there. But
I wonder if he misses Detroit.
Maybe Tom got caught with Anthony, so he had to fucking get out of town.
That was weird because he was
some creepy shit.
Buddy with that.
Then the one time he was like trying to get him drunk, and that was disturbing.
All right, Carrie Ann, we're putting you on this. You need to find out what's going on with Tom Reed right about now. I see she says she doesn't watch him anymore, so
I don't think
Somebody's
all
got
of
to
them.
know. Someone's got to pay attention.
He's the only YouTuber with freaking 150K subs that gets 20 views a video now. I mean, he'll videotape a fucking box with a hen egg and post it. He posts some weird shit. Tractor running, warning, 2 hours tractor running. I mean, shit like that.
About the most interesting thing he's posted was the armadillo in the yard. Just because we don't see none of them fucking things up here, man.
Man, only if he could hear us ripping his channel, I'd love to hear him explode because he can't take criticism. Just like the time he told me he was gonna put a pacifier in my mouth and put me in a diaper and kick me into the garbage.
Dude, those were
I
wild
reposted
times.
that video. Did you watch the video I posted recently of the day I went down the
No,
set?
I've been watching bits and pieces. I was just trying to
I
figure out if
found it. It was
the
way
shit
like
you were posting was
one of the
new or
first
old.
videos I posted, so I fucking did a couple shorts from it and then reloaded it. But it was that day. I left immediately after he said he was gonna put a lollipop in my mouth and or something, put a diaper around me. But I couldn't find him. And then I was calling him out to go to dinner so it wouldn't look like I'm stalking him. And he
Yeah.
was nowhere to be found. I was down there for hours that day. He took off back to the Red Roof Inn, I think. I wasn't going to beat him up or anything. I was just going to call him out in front of YouTube just to show everyone that he's not this tough guy he portrays. Because
Still one of the funniest moments ever with that guy was.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say when those guys tried to box him in on Michigan Avenue.
Yeah.
And he was live or whatever. Dude, that was so funny. That dude about shit his pants.
Right. Yeah, I got accused for that for a while, but I had alibi, thank God, because that's right when I was starting that beef of going and looking for him. But yeah, that wasn't me. If it was me, I would have made sure people seen I showed up. I wouldn't have hurt him either. I wanted to find him and turn the camera on and see if he was gonna do what he said. I wasn't trying to hurt the guy or anything. I wanted to see if he was gonna put me in the diaper. But
dude, that might have been nothing, dude. That might have just been some dude seeing some weird dude with his camera out filming shit.
It
might have been up to some shit down there.
It was either a drug dealer's turf or it was just a wrong place, wrong time, where a guy's seen an opportunity to steal equipment that's probably valuable. It wasn't premeditated at all. I think it was wrong place.
Just happened.
Yeah, it wasn't set up, or the person wasn't. No one like stalking them down. It kind of either was drug dealers or just fucking random people that wanted to hit a lick.
Carrie Ann's right. I remember he got back to the Red Roof and he's like, yeah, those fucking pussies. There were two of them and they couldn't even fucking handle me. I would have put a diaper on their fucking asses.
He sounded so scared and he was like, oh my God, what? Oh my. Then he acts tough.
Right.
Or the other second best is when Tom's live and the camera actually lowers and you can see he's got no pants on. I got that video. I uploaded that video.
Jesus.
That was an old classic. Tom caught pantless on the computer. I screen recorded that a long time ago.
Before he got the courage up to interview those prostitutes, he was sitting in that van jerking off watching those girls.
If you go back to his videos from like the very first few he made, there's a couple of them just zooming in on the hookers, but he don't engage on them, He's just zooming in from far and he watches them for like a minute or two and then he just carries on. And these are like 9-year-old videos.
At some point he worked up the courage to interview him. And that was his safe zone. That was his safe zone.
when he said that he was interviewing him, just stumbled on making his channel big. No, he had some kind of fetish with working women way before YouTube.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that creeper.
That's
And
creepy.
he may never never have done anything with any of them.
The
But I
weird
guarantee.
thing is, there's channels all over YouTube where dudes fucking interview random hookers and addicts. And T-Boy was like the fucking the inventor of it all. He was doing it way before it got popular.
Ain't no doubt. Got to give him some credit there, man. He started that shit.
He did, but he
So
started it by being a creep. He didn't think it was going to blow up to what it did. He got caught being a creep, and it worked out in his favor. Just like that girl
well,
that
he
died.
admitted
That had like the scars on her cut up on her face. She was on the corner of 75, and he was
yeah,
talking to her from his window, and he asked, "Are you going to be here?" And then he ended up meeting her over by the Fort Street gas station. That was one of his first videos. That girl passed away. But remember, her face was all like cut up and shit.
I
Tom
think
was
that
like,
was the video that he posted to Reddit that blew him
yeah,
up.
it was like 4 a.m, and Tom asked her, I forget what he asked her, if she's working or what are you doing out here? How are you? Something. And then he's like, come on, come over here. And I think that was his first interview. And then that girl died like a couple weeks later.
Jesus
She was the first one to
Christ Almighty!
die. Penny. Her name was Penny. But
You
she
gotta
had
you
like
gotta admit that.
bloody nose and a bloody lip before that.
No, I can see your picture right now, just thinking about it. You got to admit, man, that dude looks like a serial killer, man.
Dude,
when you
100,
figure that,
100%. Fucking the 100%, dude. The glasses, the way he wears the winter cap. And then
yep,
when you see him on camera, when he don't intend to be on camera, he always has a mean scowl on his face. But when he's
super
on
creepy.
camera, it's like he's happy. But the camera accidentally catches his face. It's like he has an evil fucking look on his face. I mean, before he got popular, do you ever read his comments before he got popular? If anyone criticized his comments like 10 years ago, he would tell them, fuck off. Go away, asshole. Who are you, loser? He was like he was mean as shit. This was before he like anyone knew about him. He was just like, he does tell the truth there. He had a ton of videos with not many views before he blew up. But in those videos, anytime someone tried to give him advice or comment something negative, he would always say, fuck you. Who are you, asshole, scumbag, piece of shit? And then he would start getting like mean. He's got a switch like that hits quick. That's why I think he's fucking could be a suspect of something, because he gets mean real quick. Just like when Sharon was getting at McDonald's back when he first met her and he couldn't
Oh
find
man,
her. Remember? He's like, this fuck, what the fuck? Oh, do you remember that shit? He's like, I want to run her over right now. That was creepy. Just because she was fucking 30 seconds late.
crazy man. It's probably a good thing he went to Georgia, because
Right.
he does have he got a short fuse, man, and he's
That's
probably
what
right,
the word
man.
I was looking for. The fucking shortest fuse of all time, man. I mean, you can't even give him fucking your opinion on his videos in the comments without him blowing up. Fucking go choke on an apple, dickhead. If you tell him like, man, your camera's a little blurry. Eat shit, fucker. Like he's fucking he's got a short fuse, man.
No, either something was gonna happen to him or he was gonna just fucking lose it on someone. I don't know what his
when he was going on Bobble's lives and shit, like he would behave and then someone would say something to set him off and then he'd start going nuts. Like He's a bipolar or something, dude. He's
Face would get all red.
yeah, and he's like, he would be like, "Fuck you, fucking idiot, fucking stupid." Or when you're talking about that Catherine lady, fuck her, fat bitch, fucking who's she, fucking pig. Like, jeez, dude, you're fucking mean, vulgar, and very opinionated.
See, now I miss Cray Cray's videos going after that guy. That was shit. That was like the start
She
of it
was,
all,
yeah,
man.
she was the first one to call him out, basically. And she had the right to do so because he was giving off some vibes. And if she didn't do that, this community may have never came about. But her calling him
Dude, there
out,
was a lot. Yeah, I don't know why people were mad at her. Look at all the smoke that was around that dude. There was, I mean,
yeah,
to think that
all
to
his fans were
speculate that,
mad at her, but she was right. She was doing everything she called him out on was absolutely right to say. And because didn't at first he called her like a fatso or something because she didn't want to meet him when they were about to meet, and then she changed plans at the end, and he fucking blew up on her. Ain't that how it all started? And
yeah, they were
then
going to
then he
meet, and
started then he started calling her like a pig. This pig. I didn't want to meet her anyway. I'm like, what the? And then she fucking really, really played detective on top. She's been fucking. I don't think so anymore, but for like 3 years, man, she gave it to him. I
nah,
mean,
she went hard on that dude.
more than once, he talked about killing her. Remember the time he said he wishes he could throw her out this window when he was in some like old country upstairs window. He's like, I'd like to throw Cray out this window. I mean, who says
But
that
then,
other than people that really would do that?
but then he wouldn't respond to her for a while, and then he'd pull off in Flint out of nowhere, like driving back and forth, and
Yeah,
he knew exactly where she lived, and he put that video up on the fucking YouTube, and she'd see it and freak the fuck out.
yeah. I
Dude was
mean,
driving right around her fucking crib.
who does that? That's fucking creepy Chester molester fucking shit, man.
Playing those head games, man. So, all right, man, I got to go watch
All
this
right.
game.
Thank you for bringing some fucking interesting life to my life, brother.
For sure, bro. I'll be on next time, all right?
All right, homie.
All right, later, chat.
Peace. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. I wasn't reading the chat. I'm sorry. I was too busy going back and forth with my boy, $10. Superwoman, you never watched whose channel? Yeah, Carrie Ann. I agree, Carrie Ann, with this comment. Big time agree. Yeah, Laura. Laura was also one of the first ones to call him out, actually. I think Laura was before Cray Cray, so let's give Laura her due respect. She was on the Tom way before everyone else. And she was right. Tom tried to make her look bad to all his users and like literally tried to brainwash them, basically like predictive program his viewers about Laura being a nutcase, when in reality Laura's far from a nutcase and Tom was the nutcase. What Laura does in her private life is Laura's business, but on YouTube, she's far from a nutcase. She just told people how it was. That's what it boils down to. She had a lot of people trolling with her, but she was super nice with me, and everything she told me always came to tuition. She would call me sometimes and warn me about shit when I was new to this 2 years ago, and everything she would tell me or warn me about, she was exactly spot on. So I had all the trust in the world with her. and I still do to this day. I haven't talked to her in months. I hope she's doing good, but that's one girl from YouTube I definitely trust with everything. The only reason other people look at her different and view her different is because Tom and other people made up shit about her. And people are going to believe they're heroes, unfortunately. Plus, she's really not a YouTube nerd, so she really don't care what others say about her. She just ignores it and does her own thing. That's cool because too many people react the wrong way when shit's said about them on here. They freak out and go about it the wrong way. I agree, Carrie Ann, right here. I agree. Yeah, he kept saying a bunch of weird shit about Laura, when in reality, she was the one that was onto him and calling him out for the real Tom before anyone. I'm glad she's good. Tell her I said hi if you talk to her again. Carrie Ann, I'm gonna make you a mod once I figure out how. Does anyone know how to make people mods from the cell phone? I think I can go into the creator studio and do it. The last time I had mods and was going live, I had a laptop, but I leave my laptop at my work office. 4 people. I wish Secular was around. I have a long day tomorrow. Not looking forward to it. You gotta live in the present, honey. Life is short. Even if you're doing something difficult in task, just live in the moment because every second we are here presently is a second we'll never get back. So even if it's something you totally dislike or hate, try to live in the moment because time flies, and before you know it, you'll be old and elderly and wishing you were still complaining about going to work because one day it's going to come where we'll be in our 70s and 80s laying in beds wishing we were still in our 40s and 50s saying, I miss work. I wish I was working right now. I hate being old. not calling you out, Carrie, really, or singling you out. I'm just saying for everyone, just live in the moment. I don't know where I learned that, but even when I hated a job I had, I tried to trick myself into thinking I don't hate it so that I could absorb the moment and live in the present and cherish those minutes, hours, days at work because they go fast and you don't get them back. And yes, having a job is a great thing. Not everyone's fortunate enough to have employment. So if you're employed, you have to respect that for sure. Even if the job sucks, at least you're making income to be able to support your lifestyle. The past few years, when I was flashy, interested in the money, when I was posting money videos and stuff, I'm not really regretting it, but I learned from that, and I'm definitely not that person at all anymore. I actually make fun of the person I was, but I eat crow and I leave them up because they were me and they happened. So instead of trying to hide something from people and be someone I'm not, I leave them up so people can judge me, not just in the present, but also how I behaved in the past, which a lot of my older videos are cringe and embarrassing, but I'm the kind of person who can move on from those situations, and I want to reflect my real self to you all. And if I deleted every video I hated or that didn't make me look like a good person, then I would be misleading and fake, trying to be someone I'm not in order to impress you people. And people who do that are not only liars, but they're not happy with who they are. There's probably millions of YouTubers who pretend to be someone they're not or act like they do things or have things that they wouldn't ever have in a million years. If you think about it, you could portray yourself as anyone you wanted on here, and no one would really know because we all only know each other through this app and through a screen. So if you wanted to pretend to be a millionaire skateboarder, you could pretend to be that on here and no one would ever find out unless your real life friends come across your channel, LOL. But I have a feeling there's a handful of people I know from the community that are totally playing someone they aren't in real life when they're on YouTube. They're literally playing a character of sorts or playing someone they wish they were, which who am I to tell them what to do? But I think it's pretty pathetic that you're ashamed of who you really are to the point you gotta act like someone completely different. So I'm gonna give you 100% Leland through the good and the bad every time I'm on YouTube. I don't care if I get made fun of or if a video portrays me in a bad way. It was meant to be, but in present time, I'm going to be who I really am. And if you choose to like me, that's awesome. If you choose to dislike me, then I'd rather you not pay attention and leave instead of trolling and making fun of me. Sorry, I just got off course a little bit right there. It's just me and the two ladies having a threesome in here, huh? I hope I'm performing well for you, girls. Now that I'm getting testosterone shots, I should be more full of life. LOL. Hello, hello. Quality over quantity. Oh, heck yeah. I would definitely take one woman that has tremendous quality over 1,000 women that stand no chance to what that one woman full of quality brings to the table. In my 20s, I got a little wild, but mainly throughout my life, I wasn't the one to run around and just sleep with every girl I encountered. I kind of liked to repeat sleeping with the same girl as often as possible, even in my young days. Nowadays, as I'm older, I don't be sleeping with anyone. Uh, it's been at least 3 years that I slept with any woman, but that's by choice. I'm too busy. Definitely don't want a girlfriend, and I'm not at that stage where I wanna hook up for a old one nighter or call an ex or someone I slept with throughout the years. So when it does occur next, it's gonna be a special moment, I guess. I went out with someone from 18 till 22. She left me. Then I met someone at 24 and I was with her until I was 30, and it just didn't. I thought she was the one. It didn't work out. Then from 30 to 34, 35, I was with this girl off and on that I loved to death, but it didn't work out. So the last 4 years, I said, screw that. I'm not getting into another long term relationship just to be heartbroken again 3 times over 20-year period is enough for me. First one was more of a high school sweetheart. The second two, I thought both of them were going to be the one. So I wasted all of my 20s and half of my 30s. And then from 35 to not current, I fooled around here and there with mostly women I've already been with in the past or women who I've known from high school. I lied, so that was 35 to 37. From the last 2 years, I haven't slept with anyone or took care of myself. So, to be in a perverted way, I haven't had a nut in over 2 years from 2000 or from 37 to present. I've been celibate and I haven't relieved myself either. I'm retaining my semen for as long as possible. I don't have a purpose for doing so. I don't know any benefits of doing it. It's just something I've been doing, and now it's going on almost 3 years. That's funny. Good for you, Superman. I love and respect good relationships. All right, Carrie, if you're the last one here, I'm going to end this. Peace out. I'm going to try to make you a mod. Or I'm going to leave it running, but I'm about to go get something to eat and drink. If anyone's here when I come back, I'll talk.